That's how you do a twist. We
Yep,
talked about it last week, and it is true. Soldier Boy is the father of Homelander.
I am your
Yo,
daddy.
he is the daddy. Welcome to Structure. I'm your host, Lion, joined by my number one co-host, P.
What up?
Let
What
him
up?
know what's up.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, this was a wire to wire episode. Every scene had a lot of content in there, a lot of context. H, let's get instructed.
Let's go. Thank you for joining us, folks. If this is the first time watching us, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. We're going to be giving the episode a rating at the end of the show, so stick for that. And we also are going to provide another theory. We've been on a streak so far, we've hitting the nail on the head. So let us know if you agree, if you disagree, if you have a theory of your own that you want to provide for us. This is going to be a review reaction of episode 3 of The Boys season. Sorry, episode 7. I am so out of place. I'm so excited.
Episode
I
7.
forgot which episode number we are.
Oh, yeah,
It's episode 7 of season 3. That's what it is.
Yep. Sure enough.
So
Go ahead.
this episode starts with Maeve having an interaction with Homelander, where again, Homelander has to stick so low, deepest of the deep. This guy doesn't know any.
No pun intended.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have any line that he won't cross, and he's just every single time he has to do something so appalling. This time, he's keeping Maeve alive, not to abuse her, but to breed her like an animal. He's gonna just use her eggs to have his own kid, a kid of his own, similar to the same sentiments that Soldier Boy was expressing in previous episodes. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, he said that he's not crass, but he is, and we know his history. He has a child from a unwanted incident, so he does have that history, and at least we know that Maeve's alive, but she's not secure. But she does get one thing to hold on to, which she mentioned that is the first time that she's seen him actually scared, because Soldier Boy found himself in jeopardy last episode. And he's walking around with concealer on his face, and he's hiding. Yeah, he's hiding from the truth. He's facing his immortality, and he's not okay with that. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know who he is. Go ahead, H.
This is something to talk about how a show is done, like how they do this show, right? The writing is what really makes it that good, because the writers and the producers of this show have created this character in Homelander that, man, every time you think this guy reached a new limit, he just smashes it.
Yeah.
And we can see it when he's at his high, feeling himself almighty and powerful. And for the rest of this season, nobody's scared of him anymore. He's very low. Although he has all the power, he has no control. So he doesn't really have the power. He's an illusion, just like Stan Edgar, who, in my opinion, I think is running everything behind the scenes. So I may be proven wrong next episode. We're proven right. Sorry. He feels it. Like nobody respects him. Even when he has Maeve at her very lowest, she's down the floor. He's towering over her. She lets him know that she's happy that she see him low, to see him scared. And we see that with Starlight doing the same thing. We saw everybody talks to him.
And Butcher and Huey as well.
Huey.
Yeah, all of them. They're all fed up. I think that's what it's coming up to. They're all fed up. They leveled up in some way, form, or fashion. And now they're sticking it to the man, so to speak. And he's fighting back. Just to piggyback off of what you said, he has all the power, but he is not competent within his role. He is not capable of handling the tasks and the situations needed as someone who normally runs five, which is Stan. And he's seen how much of a prima donna I think he was, and that's why he's fallen into this role of just spewing propaganda and lies because it's easy, and forcing people to believe the conspiracy theories and so on and so forth, which is what we see at the rally.
No, certainly, and he's like this bully, as they say in school, that's so tough on the outside, but is scared of everything around him.
Yeah.
He's that, I guess, that daddy complex that he never had a father to love him. He was raised in a lab by himself. This
Yep.
all affecting his mental status. This guy with so much power really has none, and that's the reflection there.
He's
Now,
empty.
another, yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. He's empty inside.
And not to jump around too much. We're gonna be jumping around, folks. You've seen some of the most important parts of the episode. Um, with another character that we see more of his background, we see some of the issues that this person has, and we see why he is that way. Is Butcher. We saw that he was put into a trance, put into an eternal nightmare, where we see him interact with his brother, his younger brother Lenny, and
Yep.
we see why he feels so guilty, why he looks at Huey the way he looks at him, because we see that he sees the reflection of his little brother, and we see the abuse that he suffered at the hand of his father.
Dude, that was hard to watch, and it was hard to see Butcher turn his back on his brother when his brother needed him. And as we saw, it was hard for Butcher to relive that. However, when he came out of his trance, he still chose the wrong path, and we'll touch on that later. But this is why the Butcher has trouble being a father to his son, and he has trouble making connections in relationships, whether it's with a girlfriend or whether it's with actual friend, which is Huey, or other people, because he never experienced that as a kid. He was beat on mercifully as a kid, and that's the only thing that he recognizes, which is again the reason why he's killing superheroes as opposed to just putting them on notice. It goes on and on and on, and I think he makes a critical mistake at the end of this episode.
I think all the anger that he has towards the superhero is part of what he feels about himself. He realizes what a piece of ass he is,
Yeah.
that he left his brother to be vulnerable, because let's face it, he most likely knew that the one abused instead.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstories, which is why every scene I think was action packed. It's filled with context and content, and just pulled you deeper into the plot of what's going on. So you had the backstory of the Butcher, you had the backstory of Maeve, and you had the backstory of Homelander, and you had the backstory of
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk. Thank you. Yeah, Mother's Milk. We all know that his family was killed by Soldier Boy, but now he's being forced to relive that, and it's compounded by the fact that his daughter's stepfather is taking him to invest in Homelander, believing that propaganda, and Soldier Boy is out on the loose. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of sub stories going on. I'm missing one other sub story, one other backstory.
Was A-Train, because we saw his relation with his brother.
Black Noir, sorry. Jeez.
Black Noir, yes.
Gosh. Black Noir, his backstory, I think, was one of the most poignant. Between him and Butcher, I think was one of the most poignant backstories because, first of all, Black Noir hasn't really said anything most of the series because he doesn't speak. So it's hard to know what's going on in his head. But we finally got inside his head, and there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot in there, and you see how him and Soldier Boy first grew up, and they were best friends because they had an incident in school, and Soldier Boy backed him up. But Soldier Boy was an abusive a-hole throughout their entire relationship.
Total bully.
Yeah, and it was a power dynamic, really, with Soldier Boy. He had to be on top as long as he had a hype man behind him. He was good, and if they got out of line, if anybody got out of line, he would regulate them with force, right? And he had his entire team scared to the point that they turned on him, and everybody had a hand, sort of like in a way, but not as righteous, sort of like Caesar. And instead of stabbing him in the back, except for he really, really deserved it in this case, Soldier Boy did.
And with the brain damage that Black Noir suffered at that particular battle against Soldier Boy, he now sees all these cartoon characters that are his safety zone, telling him, you're gonna be okay. We're always gonna be here for you. Because initially we had seen that a bomb had gone off, right? And then all of a sudden half of his face was off, and he had some brain damage. We actually was Soldier Boy, because the story was retold to the cartoons. We had the Eagle play Soldier Boy, and then we had the Sheep as a follower being
Uh-huh.
playing Black Noir in the cartoons, and see how he got beat up by Soldier Boy, and this is why he's the way he is, scared, afraid. Although he has just like Homelander, incredibly powerful, but scared of even his own shadow. In
Yeah,
essence, so
I
much power, but no power at all.
yeah, I thought it was creative genius to bring in the cartoons and to tell the story that way because everybody else had a regular backstory with actors and it was real life. But to tell it in cartoons actually puts into context his brain and how he saw stuff to what you were saying. H does have brain damage, and that is his hat. So that really, I think, painted a different picture for us um, in that situation. It was revealing. We didn't know all those things
Yeah,
about Soulja Boy. We didn't know how much his team hated him that much. It's insane. And we also didn't know about Stan. We had a feeling, but we didn't know that Stan had a bigger hand in it than what was first told.
no, certainly, and no, Stan. He's being like I've been saying for the last few episodes. He's the puppet master behind everything, and I still think at this particular moment
He's still in control.
he's running things in the background.
No
I
question.
have no doubt that this was happening right now.
Yeah.
Um, but tell me one thing, just switch gears a little bit. Isn't it funny that now A Train survives after his heart gave out, but he's given the heart of the guy that hurt his brother?
Oh my God.
Do you
Yeah.
think this will be a second chance for Adrian to really, really do the right thing? So we finally see him step out and take the right actions for at least for once.
I mean, let's further compound it, right? So, a train, he has the heart of his mortal enemy that paralyzed his brother. They fixed A Train, but they couldn't fix his brother. So A Train is way better than he was before, and his brother's way worse than he was before. It's a terrible paradox that he has to live with, and it's I don't know how that's going to eat at him. And not only that, but they want to commercialize it and make content off of this. And, and he's going to be back. He's going to get what he wanted in the way that he never imagined. You know, be careful what you ask for because
You just might get it.
this is not what he wanted at all, at all. Speaking of not what you wanted, H. What about the deep?
The deep doesn't he make you just crave some seafood right about now?
No,
No, you're not hungry. So some seafoods, some
no,
octopus.
no octopus.
No octopus for you. Okay.
No.
Man, this guy is such a deep ass as well.
Yeah.
He's just, he started the show from the big first episode, treating Starlight the way he did. To this now, he's just the lowest of the low, right at that same level of Homelander, but not as powerful. This guy is just a complete yes man that has no balls. That is just he's just a scam artist, and he's just
And
doing
yeah,
this garbage stuff. for
he's
sure.
narcissistic. You said that he's like Homelander, yes, including the narcissism. He thought and he thinks that he got to that place by himself when he was thrown on the outs. Nobody wanted to associate with him or talk to him because he was such an outcast. And it was the church, and also the church linking him up with his wife that brought him back into the fold, that brought him back into the spotlight. Now he's acting like he did it all himself, and all his wife did was write a few lines, but he really delivered it, which is BS. So he's going to go out there on his own, and we're going to see how that works out for him.
Certainly. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, the main course of this episode, I want to just touch on a few things that happen. We have Victoria kind of showing her hand, trying to make a deal with Homelander, the head, the head pupper, to affect the presidential election. I think she's trying to aim really, really high, and she's trying to go for either the VP position or maybe even higher. That's what I think is gonna be happening there. Let's see how that develops. I don't think we'll see a payoff for that just yet. I think it's gonna be for next season, maybe next year when we'll see more about that. Um, Starlight. Starlight is the one is growing into this fearless character. She's
Champion.
not afraid to do what she needs to do,
That's right.
and she's even smack talking Homelander. Even when he threatened Huey, she's like, well, "Go ahead, good luck with it," because
Yeah.
she knows he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He's just trying to threaten his empty threats because she's calling him out what he is. And the meetup. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say she is fearless, but I'll make my point afterwards. Go ahead, H.
And the meat and potatoes of this whole episode is that confrontation of Soldier Boy, Huey, Butcher looking for the final member of Soldier Boy's former team.
Yeah.
And here we have a situation where when Butcher is put into that nightmare, Huey has to pair up unreluctantly with Soldier Boy. And together, Huey essentially betrays Soldier Boy, teleports this guy back to save Butcher.
Yep.
But Soldier Boy still gets his man. What a knife throw! Oh my god, that was gruesome.
That goes on the list of never seen in a movie before. I mean, you could think back to all the Rambo movies and everything. Never seen anybody get a knife in the face like
the gore. It just went through like the eye and the nose. It was like hanging. They make this so real. Like it sometimes makes you uncomfortable. Like it is a violent show.
When I saw it, Lion, I was watching it on the big screen, and when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, like, oh my god!"
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And then the shield bashing. He shield bashed the guy after he. Jesus.
My goodness. Yes, it was gruesome. I mean, Soldier Boy he's a brute, and now you see where Homelander gets it from. But also, like you said, Huey made a choice, and now Huey was going to act on it, but now Huey's sort of like in a bad state where he's not as powerful to act on his thing, and maybe his only way out maybe to take more V and disappear somewhere. But where does that leave them mentally? Because we see that V ends in death. The temporary V ends in death. So that's also an issue. And I think we were talking about this. You had mentioned this off camera. Was that Butcher had a chance to warn Huey about the V and being a good guy because he was so repentant on what he did to his real life younger brother that he is going to do things differently with his Huey, who he sees as his younger brother, but he doesn't. He says, "We need more V so that we can accomplish my agenda," which shows his true character. So who's the righteous one in this story? No one. Going back
no one is.
Yeah.
He had the chance to do the right thing, and he ended up, choosing to be the same piece of ass that he's always been.
Yeah.
And for 1 minute, he felt bad about it, but he thought about it too long, decided to go along. He's enjoying the ride. And this takes me, the repercussions of what happened here, the conversation that Soldier Boy had with the former team member, to my theory for what I think we may see on the next episode. So, the whole twist on this episode was that Soldier Boy found out that he is the dad of Homelander, and he even reached out to Homelander to let him know, "Hey, I am your father." Not to quote Star Wars. And Homelander is looking for that father figure. This is what I think we're gonna see next week. We're gonna see Homelander and Soldier Boy trying to work out a father-son dynamic, but Soldier Boy is gonna like the spotlight too much. It's gonna start getting popular, and we're going to see Homelander, for good or for bad, turn around, betray his father, and eliminate Soldier Boy from the playing field. Because and he knows that Soldier Boy contains the power that can burn all the V power from Homelander, leaving him completely powerless. So I see Homelander playing this out, ending the Soldier Boy, especially ending Soldier Boy right before he takes down the boys. Do you guys think that Homelander reluctantly will become a hero by the end of the season by eliminating Soldier Boy right before he takes down the boys? What do you think?
Or do you think that Soldier Boy takes the power from Homelander, and then Homelander is rendered useless? Then the Butcher kills Soldier Boy, and the Butcher dies because he's used too much V.
I don't think Butcher's gonna die just yet. Butcher's the main character. Same thing for Homelander. Homelander is another main character. So Characters like Huey, Soldier Boy, and Butcher, I think we'll see on the season on the show going forward. We may see some of the other characters to be more expendable. I think they can play around with that. But I think you may be right in some of the points that you made. But guys, let us know if you agree with our theories, if you have a theory of your own. But as well as I'm gonna ask E, I want to know what you guys will rate the episode. E, what's your rating for this episode?
I don't know, man. I'm in between a 9.5 and a 10. I think I'm gonna do a 9.5.
It was a damn good episode. There was a lot of character development, a lot of good writing, things that makes us think after the show's end. That's the test of a good show. When a show ends and you're still thinking about it, that is good. That is good writing. I have to go with a 10. This show is perfection. One of the best shows, if not, you know what, the best show all year so far. Bar none.
Absolutely. Bar none. I mean, the writing and just the grit, the reality, the authenticity, and just the rugged rawness. It reminds me of like if 30 Rock was written in this time on HBO, mixed in with maybe like Euphoria or something else or whatever. It's just that gritty. It's just that real. I mean, it's the.
Hey, we love the show over here, so let us know what you guys think. I gave it a 10. He gave it a 9.5. We want to hear from you. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for checking us out. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this on your social media. Tell your friends. And E, take it away.
Hey, we'll be here for the next episode, and you should be here too. Until that time, I'm E, this is Lion, and we are
Unstructured.
That's right.